I lost money trading for 6 years. I blew accounts, constantly switched strategies, blamed the market, never took personal responsibility, and I even thought maybe I'm not cut out for this. But something finally clicked this year, and once it did, everything changed. If you've been stuck, this might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. As you can see, this is the first year I've had consistent results after 6 years of trading. We've passed phase one, we're close to passing phase two. So this video and the lessons that I share from my years of experience, if you're struggling, you're blowing accounts, you're not consistently profitable, you're lost with trading, this video should help you. So let's get a bit of background why I started trading. I started trading like the reason why everyone starts trading. I wanted the money, the lifestyle. I didn't want to work for someone. I wanted to have my own hours, have that freedom. I was putting in a couple of hours a day learning to trade. I was at school, so in my free periods, when I had a free period and I wasn't in the lesson, I'd look at YouTube videos, I'd look at live trading, I'd look at live trading videos. This was back in 2018, around then, 2018, 2019, around that time. I then decided to take it more seriously when I left school and spend $1,000 on a course, and I thought that's it. Once I buy this course and I learn from professional people and they give me a professional strategy, I'll just start making money. That was my mindset. Give me the knowledge, I'll start making money. All I need is a strategy. But I still struggled with consistency and I couldn't understand why. I could not understand why I wasn't making consistent profit when I'm learning all the knowledge that everyone's learned in this community who are consistent. So I couldn't grasp probability. Like I mentioned, I assumed that I shouldn't be having 4 or 5 losses in a row. I know the knowledge. I've learned the strategy that they're all being successful with. So I shouldn't be losing. And I thought it'd be easy. As I mentioned, just give me a strategy. That's what everyone wants. What's your strategy? How do you trade? And it's a massive part, but it's a small part in the grand scheme of it. So that was the background. The mistakes I was making for 6 years straight, hopefully this will help you if you guys are still losing or struggling. These are the things that I can talk from personal experience, from reflecting on why I'm more successful this year compared to the other years. Switching strategies anytime I went on a losing streak. I couldn't accept losing. I'm an extremely competitive person, as I'm sure a lot of people are. It's a competitive business. And I took losses every time I had losing periods as I was doing something wrong. I was switching strategies as soon as I'd have a losing streak. As you can see, this was the challenge, the FTMO challenge that I recently passed, phase one, and I documented it all on this channel. These were the losses that I took at the start of the end of 2024. I've documented it all on this channel. But before, I would take these losses and I'd look to change strategy. I'd see something on Instagram of someone passing an account in a day or a week using their strategy, and I'd change. As soon as I'd have some losses, I'd change. And that was a huge mistake because I wasn't allowing the edge to play out with my own personal strategy. Didn't have a clear routine. If there was no trades, I would sleep in and I think, okay, there's nothing to do today. There's no trades, best trades, no trade. And I was correct with that. However, I'd sleep in, I wouldn't have a consistent routine. And that would mean the next day I'd be getting up later and I wasn't locked in on point. I was up and down. 1 minute I was sleeping in because there was no trades. Then there were trades. So I was up at 6. Then it would be all over the place. As I mentioned, I couldn't accept that losing trades are part of the game. I wanted to win all the time. I associated any loss as I did something wrong and that I'm not good and I shouldn't be losing, when losses are part of the game. And because of this, over time when you're losing and struggling for consistency, you slack off a little bit, or I did. I think, okay, well, does this work? Am I being scammed? Have they took my money and they haven't taught me a good strategy? Like all this. So I wasn't giving it 100%. And then I have the bad habits outside of trading. Because I was younger, I was 18, 19, 20, you go out with your friends. Drinking is a big part. A lot of your friends are at university, you go visit them, you're out drinking with them. And I just wasn't giving it 100%, and these bad habits outside of trading negatively impacted my results. And I didn't think it'd matter at the time. I thought if I just learn the knowledge, I'll start making money, so it doesn't matter what I do outside of trading. So all these negative habits affected my decision making, and the decision making affected my results. If you guys are getting value from this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to see my journey so far. We've been documented for 2 years. All the wins, all the losses. One of the only real, raw, honest, transparent traders on this platform that have shown everything from the start. I've not appeared on this platform and started making money. I've started showing all my losses, all my wins, everything. And we're doing well so far. This year's been a good year. So yeah, subscribe, see my journey, comment down below. I want to build a community of like-minded people. So yeah. So what's actually changed this year that you guys can implement and hopefully you can start to change and get on the right trajectory? Trading isn't about being right on every single trade. That's a myth. I again thought that was the case. You can't be right on every single trade, nor should you seek to try and be correct on every single trade. If you have a good strategy that has 55 or 60% win rate, which a lot of successful traders have, that means even when you take a perfect setup, you're still susceptible to losing 40% of the time or 55% of the time. So you have to identify, was it a good trade or a bad trade? If it was a good trade and it was part of your plan and it lost, that's still a good trade, even though you took the loss, even though you took the 1% loss or whatever your risk management is. It's still a good trade. And a winning trade isn't always a good trade. Just because you took a win that day and you had a green day, yes, in the short term you're up and you made money. Long term, if you keep making those decisions, you're going to be down on your account because it was a bad trade, it was luck. Sticking with one strategy that you know works. So I backtested a strategy, back into a community that I was in and thought, I'm not going to change. I'm going to give it a large sample size and I'm not going to change any of the strategies at all. I'm going to stick with it. And if after a long period of time, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, or over a large sample size of trades, if I'm not profitable, then maybe that system doesn't work for me. Maybe I need to look at what I'm doing wrong. But overall, I knew the strategy worked because I've got the data, I backtested it, I know it has positive expectancy. So even when I take 4 losses like I did at the start of that challenge, I kept going with it. Stop trying to avoid losing. Sometimes I would think I'm not going to take that trade because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. If I know it's part of my plan, I've got to execute it. That's what I did. I stuck with a process and routine. So even when there was no trades that day, I would do the same thing that I would do if there were trades. I'd hit the gym. I started hitting the gym because it was a discipline that I needed to implement for myself. I needed something for myself that I knew I didn't want to do every day. It was something that I knew I had to do despite how I felt. And as a byproduct of becoming a disciplined person, I knew that the skills and habits that I learn outside of trading, I can implement inside of trading. And that's what I did. I developed a good, solid routine that never changed. You don't have to get up at 5:30, eat healthy every day, go to the gym, trade your plan, make a video. You don't need to do all that. You need to have a couple of things you need to do. So for me, it was go to the gym, make content for you guys and document my journey, and execute my plan. That's it. And whatever happens that day, up or down, I stick with that. The biggest lesson that I've learned this year is patience. My results so far this year, about 14% up, again past phase 1, and we're close to passing phase 2. You can see the phase 1 here. I've documented it again all on this channel. But these months where I've had negative 0.7 or even June 0.27% profit, if I'd have took lower probability setups, even if they were technically part of the plan, but I knew that there were lower strike rate, lower chance of playing out, I avoided lower probability setups. And that meant that these months where I'm around break even, I didn't have a negative 3-4% month. If you're having an 8.35% month and you have 2 lower quality trades and you lose and you're still up 6%, it's okay. You're still having a good month. But I avoided the lower probability setups, even though technically it's part of the plan. I avoided that, and it's hard because in trading, especially if you're reliant on that income, if you're not taking any trades, you're wanting to be in positions because the only way you can make money is by executing a trade. But sometimes the best trade is no trade. So for me, the biggest lesson is being patient. This year has been the year I've took least amount of trades, and it's up and down every year, but this year it's been so slow and it's been a hard skill to learn because I want to be in trades, I want to document, I want to pass accounts, I want to show you guys, and the only way I can do that is by executing trades. But to sit out of these lower probability setups, the community that I'm in, other people have slightly different results because the slower months like 1.3%, 1.5%, and negative 0.7%, they're negative months for them because in January I was up 1.5%. They might have took 3 or 4 lower quality setups which have now lost, and now they've finished the month negative 2% down. Same here, might have took another 2 poor setups, negative 2% down. So being patient, everyone thinks you have to be in trades every single day, and maybe for your style that might be correct. But for me, being patient and learning the art of patience, waiting for the edge to play out to show me my strategy, show me my entry model, show me my bias, and then executing on it has changed everything. And it's something that I can take forward because even in the busier periods, when there's clear, good, high quality setups, we should be getting a lot bigger months than these. But yeah, being patient is a hard one because, like I mentioned, if you're reliant on that money, and everyone thinks that you have to be trading every day, like you have the mindset of a job, I need to earn X amount per day. One of the months, it was like the 27th of the month, 27th of May, 27th of May or 27th of April, I can't remember. It was one of the months. I ended up being down 2%. I took 2 losses that whole month. Got to the 27th of the month and I think it might have been February, I can't exactly remember, but I ended up making a 3 or 4% winner on the 27th of the month, so I still finished the month positive. So it's not about every single day trying to make money, trying to have a positive week. Obviously, if your setups are there and your plan is there, then you have to execute. However, being patient, not relying on being reliant on the trading income, or reliant on passing a challenge to make money, has changed everything. So stick with your plan. Keep going. I know how difficult it is. I mean, I've been doing it for years. I've documented my journey on this channel for 2 years. I've shown everything from the start. And I'm obviously proud to say that now this year I've been consistently profitable with passing accounts. And this has changed. So I hope this video can help you guys. Stick with one strategy. Don't change. Give it long enough. Give it long enough to play out. And then after that, you can reflect. But people change too quick. I did. I'd have 3, 4 losses in a row. Change. This doesn't work. And I wouldn't allow the edge to play out. Losing isn't bad. It's not bad. Everyone shows on social media they don't want to show the losing trades because most people assume if you're losing or having losing streaks that you don't know what you're doing. That's not true. The best traders have losing streaks. The best traders have 50-55% win rate, means you're going to lose 40% of the time. Losing isn't always bad. Be disciplined. Be focused. It's a hard business. 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. They don't have consistency because they can't handle themselves and they can't handle the drawdown periods and understand that that's part of the game. So yeah, I hope this video has helped. We're so close, like I mentioned, to passing phase 2, and then we'll be a 6-figure funded trader. I'm documenting it. It's exciting. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel to see, because we've got payouts coming. We're going to have funded accounts coming. Like, we're going to be growing. And yeah, I want you guys to be part of it. I know a lot of you have been here from the start, and I appreciate each and every single one of you that does like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is what the industry needs. Real, honest, just trying your best to be successful and working and improving every day. So yeah, if you guys have got value from this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out the Road to a Million series where I've documented my whole journey, my whole funded journey. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.